The Conceited Knowbody. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Trap, leopard print shirt, red shoes.
Yo, Will. Oh man, I almost had to remix it. What up? It's another edition of the best podcast you never heard of. You already know who I am. This is Latours, aka The Blueprint. I'm gonna go back to one of my other AKAs, The Commodity. I like that shit. Hell yeah. AKA The Commodity. We back up in here with another fantastic show, the best podcast you never heard of. To my right, if you watch on YouTube, Friday, released at 9 o'clock. It's to your left. We got my homie, my favorite Muslim, Assad.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon all of you all out there, my brothers. We back. I'm one of the original. I just want to jump in and give me a little mini monologue. I'm one of the original Conceited Knowbodies. And when you just break the word down, because everybody used to call me conceited, and I hated that fucking word. I still kind of hate that word because they always say it, and I don't know what they mean by it. But a lot of people who grew up with me, that was their first thought about me. You're conceited. Because you think you act like you know everything. It's like, damn, all right, well. So I'm the OG.
Hold on, though. That's crazy, though. That's crazy because even though he said that with no conviction.
I still don't believe it, but that's how people.
I know exactly what he's saying, though. I'm going to introduce to his ride real quick, but I'm going to come back to that. To his ride, we got the Renaissance man, Renaissance Juvie, the Mr. Do-It-All, man. He the one who make the whole thing go. What happened with you, Juvie?
Man, nothing much, man. I'm just sitting here, chilling with the homies, ready to get this another great episode cracking, man. Get this podcast jumping off. Y'all need to start tuning in, baby. It's the best podcast you never heard of.
Listen, he wouldn't lie to you. He's an honest man out here making an honest living. But just to get back to what Assad said at the beginning, I can totally identify with that in every sense of, like, everything he said. I was always, like, in that same type of category. To where people say, not so much the conceited part. I've had people tell me, you think you know everything. And when they say that, it's more a reflection of how they feel about you, as opposed to how you feel about yourself. I don't know what that is, or like we had this issue and shit. Like it's weird when the older you get and shit, you start to hear it and shit. You start thinking, nah. I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, but like I said, when it's a reflection of how they feel about you and stuff, it's an insecurity in them. And usually
females tell you.
You tell like females?
I know guys who said it, but they said it to other females. It was bad in college. They said it to other females. And the ones who they didn't realize were actually knew me and knew, okay, nah, you all are seeing it the wrong way. They would always tell me, you know, that dude over there, he be talking about you bad. It's like, really? Damn, I've never, that's a species I've never really seen up close as a nigga who talks about another nigga with spite. Like, and so that's a testament to y'all. I ain't never heard you all, not yet. I should say.
No, that's some real shit though.
Because I don't have no friends like that, man.
As long as we've been friends, you have never heard me sit here talk crazy about a man like that, have you?
No.
That shit is weird. And I always say, when we listen, this ain't no slander. I'm just stating facts. When our old co-host, I won't even say no name, but when he was on here, he would have these tendencies that the side speak of. Like when we would have our little debates. I don't even really want to call it a debate. When we have our father and son, because he wasn't no equal. It wasn't equal. When we have our little back and forth thing, he would always say things like, "Oh, you're belittling me," you know what I'm saying? Or there you go, name calling, because it was his inability to keep up the pace that he had initiated. But he would do some weird shit, and I would always say that. I don't know how to take it. I don't know how to respond to it. And I always say that I know women back and forth. I know women like I know my ABCs. You know what I'm saying? I never forget my ABCs. And that comes from studying women. Like we remember ever since we was children. If you was like managed like me, shout out to my brother, Shug, motherfucking Fresh. I always be forgetting, man, to keep shouting him out because he's one of the primary reasons why I do this show. What up, Shug? But I remember when we was kids, he'd get called mannish all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we was, and it's because we was like 4 years old, 5 years old, we had girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even know where it came from. But my point saying that is like ever since I can remember, I've liked girls. You know what I'm saying? I was never that one boy trying to put a frog in their pants and run and shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit that you on TV. So I've always studied women. You know what I'm saying? And it's like familiarity breeds contempt. The more, you know what I'm saying, the more you know them, the more you dislike them.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the context of, think about any girl that you really like when you first start liking girls. Or just think about the first serious girlfriend.
Yeah.
You thought your whole thing was like, once I get with her, we're going to be fucking all the time and having fun. But when you get to sit around talking to her and shit, you think to yourself, this bitch is stupid. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying though, cause look, at that time. But listen, no, I'm saying like when you get a serious relationship, you start like, damn, bitch, you got problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you always talking? You know what I'm saying? How did you get this comfortable with me? Why do you get this comfortable with shit?
The problem is girls don't study men as much as men study girls.
Exactly.
Before the fact.
Yeah, man.
Before the fact. After the fact, girls retro study like, man, this nigga did that, so it means this.
Yeah.
We studying before we get there. Girls are just la 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 la.
Yeah. And to corroborate what you saying though, and we getting off top as far as what I was initially stating, but when you say they study us retrospectively, it's like they be like, you used to do this, you used to, and you be thinking,
you behind.
You used to be unfucked. You know what I'm saying? I used to fuck you all the time.
That shit crazy as hell though.
It's understandable from both sides though. Like that's how kind of like women don't understand the shit that it's like it's 9/10/2001, and you sat over there the whole day trying to figure out how you knock this building down. You know what I'm saying? So once you crash that fucking building and shit, man. It's no 9/12. No one talks about 9/12. 9/12 ain't shit. But look, what I was saying though, before I got off that subject on that tangent, I be trying to avoid them tangents, man, because I used to be a motherfucker sitting around, and that's what influenced our ex co-host. My old co-host, man, he used to try to follow my footsteps. Like I set a bad example for Corey. I was a bad example. What I mean by that is he couldn't separate Clark from Superman. If I'm at the Daily Bugle and shit trying to hide my disguise, this nigga walking here with some motherfucking blue tights on a cake talking about, let's fly, man, let's fly. And I'm like, man, we at work, man. Come on, man, let's shoot some lasers out there. I'm like, chill out, man, we at work. And what I mean by that is he start trying to pose like me, this old shit. He be on Instagram. Like, I got my little jokes and shit. I'm not as prolific with the jokes that I used to be because life has become so much more serious. But he used to try to stat like me. He talk about, like when you talk about women and shit, the jokes, it's all because he like my stepchild that went wrong. You know, if this was on Power and shit, I'd kill that nigga like Kanan killed Sean. That's how it be. But he seen a version of me and shit, and he didn't know, motherfucker, I'm here to fucking do newspaper reports. I'm not here to fucking fly. And so that disappointed him. And there I go with another tangent. Back to my original point, what we was talking about.
What were you talking about?
I've studied women backwards and forward, but I've never studied men. So when Asad talk about how dudes be like, chicks be like, that dude says you whatever, that kind of shit throws me off. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how men do things like that. Like, I don't understand, and what I mean by I don't understand, I know that it happens, but I don't understand, like, I don't understand it. Like, it's foreign territory. Like, I'll get out there in the middle of it's like I'm in the desert and shit looking for explanation. Like, I don't even know how to fucking walk. You know what I'm saying? The shit's foreign. Which sucks.
No, I was saying it just don't make sense at all. There's some shit just like, you just don't need, like, I be laughing. That's what the point where I just start laughing to myself, like, wait, this shit is crazy because this don't make no motherfucking sense. And I ain't even about to try to understand this shit because it don't make no motherfucking sense.
And I'm gonna tell you, what it always remind me of is when these things happen, it's always usually a hidden jealousy. It's always, and I'm not even relating this to Corey right now. Shout out to Corey. We talk shit, but he doing his thing. If y'all ain't got nothing else to do, make sure you catch him tonight. He's going to Real Tuesday. But like I was saying, it comes from a place of envy, and what it always reminds me of is, and it's always unfounded, and you don't see it comes out of nowhere. It's usually provoked by somebody else. And I always think about a famous instance, and it's when 50 Cent and Game fell out.
Yeah.
The reaction that 50 Cent had was when they used to always talk about why could he and Game ever reunite. And he said, nah. He said, because I didn't know where that shit came from. He said, that shit came out of nowhere. He said, so being that instance came out of nowhere, there's no reconciliation. Usually when you have an issue with somebody, say, if me and the side get into it, we going to know where it came from. It's going to be something that came up. So even though men don't usually fall out at this age, I'll be 40 in June.
Yeah.
I'm not falling out with none of my friends. You know, I don't have a reason to. You know what I'm saying? The reason I used to fall out, shout out to that whatever the RDC world with their little funny ass video. I could fall out with a friend over a video game, over your team beat my team, over you cheating at 21. Them are the things that me and my friends will fall out over. I can't fall out with my friends over money, women. Like, it's nothing that. So at this age, we can't fall out. Yeah. So if you put yourself in opposition to me and shit right now, at this point in my life, when I'm trying my best to have no negativity, what I mean by that, I was talking to Kendrick earlier and stuff. I was telling him about the show or whatever, and I was like, if I was the old motherfucker, and everybody's talking about the old them, it's really old me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's really old me and shit that I'm trying to change from. I said, if I was that motherfucking shit, we'd had a whole segment and shit dedicated. You know what I'm saying? So I know. But anytime I wanted to, I'd have it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like if this was the NBA, I'd retire because I didn't have that same feeling that I used to have. But the conceit thing, when somebody say that about me and shit, I'll take that. Like, that's the highest compliment you can give me. Because it's something you think I'm all there. You know what I'm saying? Me, myself, I know I'm smart. I know my technique.
That's a good way to think about that. I ain't never think about somebody like, oh, you see it. It's like, she say she, did that motherfucker say they was? Or did you just say that because how you think the way they think they, you know what I mean?
You watch how somebody moves and how somebody
you see how they act,
and you assume from that movement that they get it all right. It's like, nah, it's like I'm just staying calm in the face of the storm. So you don't know what's happening behind closed doors, in everybody's personal life. So I was always taught, man, that when you move through this life, you move with your head up, keep your eyes open, you always reflect and think, a couple steps ahead.
I just go I'm not no hating ass nigga, man. Remember when you was telling me that story about when you said you started something, when you talking about Soulja Boy, some things on the thing, I'm like, damn, for real? Like, you was like, yeah, like, you was gonna give me the whole thing, like, you believe. I'm like, nigga, I ain't got no reason not to believe, you know what I mean? I just ain't no nigga that's like, nigga, yeah, right. Yeah. You feel me? Like, I ain't never been that kind of nigga, so nigga, Asai always tells stories. I'm like, man, they be believing on the bitch, because how he persona this shit, so I'm like, damn, nigga, for real?
Keep it even kill.
You feel me?
So I think that's where a lot of it is always
like,
come
oh,
from.
yeah.
I always tell people I love stories. Listen, Asai, my nigga, Asai way younger than me, 6 years to be exact. No, 7. You 86 ass nigga.
8.
What year was you born?
86.
I know how to count, motherfucker.
It's 8. You round up. Ain't it 8?
Oh, yeah.
I was born in 79.
Oh,
so you a math teacher, motherfucker. But look, if we was at a campfire, I would sit there and listen what the fuck Asai got to say. Asai has told me some of the funniest stories I've ever heard in my fucking life. I am not bullshit, man. Listen, I'm gonna start secretly recording this nigga.
Man, the rule was always, anytime you do something, make sure it's something worth telling somebody else. Like that was always how I figured, like, what the fuck you gonna do? It's like, so do something that you can tell somebody later. I don't know. That was
Honestly,
just
don't
how
make
we
sense to
came
me
up.
at
Man.
all,
That's
bro.
how
Like, you
it
gotta
came
come
up.
shit.
Who your favorite storyteller, man? Like, not even like I know. My favorite storyteller, for one, I remember when I was coming up, man, my father used to have funny ass stories when he talked to me. He talked to my brother more than he talked to me. My brother used to tell me the stories that he told him. I got secondhand stories. Well, my father was telling the story with my fucking brother, Ronnie. Shout out to Rollo. I don't ever talk about my brother Rollo. I love my brother Rollo, too. That nigga used to have the most incredible and far-fetched stories and shit. Like, I can tell a good story, but I don't feel like I'm at their level. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit used to fucking, and even aside, the shit be so fucking funny. But like, who was some of your favorite storytellers? Shout out to Marius. Marius had some funny ass stories when he was in school.
No, for me, it was my granddad.
Real quick. Next time we're around Mars, man, y'all tell y'all about the story when he was up at school running from a goddamn dog in somebody's house, jumping couch to couch. But that's another story.
Since we
Who
on
you
that
say?
subject, man, I gotta throw Garrett. He in my top 5. Cause this nigga, man, you just be trying to read this nigga the whole time.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
That's crazy shit. And you don't know if it's true, cause this nigga really be going through some dumb shit. You be like, damn, like, but I don't
Dumb.
know. You just don't know.
Dumb.
Like, damn, this nigga could have went through that shit, or he couldn't have went through that
This
shit.
Garrett, dumb. Can you come and get me? Can you come over here and get my car? What? Come and get your car for what? The police don't care to my job. The police don't care to my job. What?
That's how you know he's...
They had a warrant. I had a warrant.
That's how you know
Oh,
he's serious.
it's stupid, but can you just come here and get my keys?
That means they sitting there listening.
Hell yeah.
Right.
I come over there. I come over there and shit. He look like a criminal. I'm saying, he got his fucking Adidas shit around his neck, little work key and shit.
Yeah.
Like, what you do for him to come and get you at work, nigga? but you say your grandpa.
Yeah, shout out to Garrett, man.
And the celebrity was Dave Chappelle, but man, the stories was always you get into a situation in something where it's like, man, I don't think I should do this. And normally when that goes down, that's when it's like, nah, I'm gonna do it, because if I get away with it, it's gonna be hell of shit, you know. So yeah, that's
What make a good storyteller to you?
Animation.
Animation.
But it's just funny because Garrett's not animated, but it's the shit he be saying with a straight face is crazy. It's like nigga,
perspective.
it's
Somebody's
like
perspective,
nigga
yeah.
eyes don't move. That nigga like, I mean, he might smirk a little bit if he really telling the
If
story.
you can match,
but
if you
it's
can match the
funny.
perspective of how they telling it, like
Yeah.
they're that's the best word I can find. Like, there's niggas on Instagram who do them little where they play both sides, or where they cut the camera, where it's like
Yeah.
they'll say something to themselves and they'll play the other role. And
Yeah.
if you can buy into it, or the ones
The way
who
they
do
sell
the
it,
little,
basically.
the way they
You
sell
just
it,
gave me a fucking
and so it's the
idea.
perspective.
More shit.
Some
coming
people try to
from
tell a
us
story,
see
get straight
nobody.
to the punchline, but it's like the punchline is
We're
going to
gonna
be
do
there.
we're gonna do daily.
Get them in the perspective.
Daily talks from the side. And you
Yeah.
be talking to
Oh,
yourself
yeah,
on a green
exactly.
screen. Yeah. That's gonna be cold.
For me, I
Some
think it's
stories
the...
I need to put on
Yeah.
tape.
I'm gonna bring your face on you on first 48.
This was
Well, my shit, I think mine
this
is
weekend, nigga. It's gonna be bullshit.
the believability of it. The believability, and then the unabashedness. Like, you just like, nigga, you did what? Like, yeah. And that's how this nigga be.
I swear. That's why when you told me he started that motherfucking dance,
Yeah.
nigga, I was like, damn, that's crazy as hell.
But some, I don't know if I was talking about Ron Newt. Talking about a good storyteller. If you want to see some good stories, you can go to Good Story. I don't really like plugging him because I think he's a sucker.
I'm putting one favorite storyteller now. I ain't gonna lie.
Hell yeah, after the show, he has to tell us something.
Come on, man.
But I fuck with Vlad TV heavy. I think Vladimir a hoe, but his guests be incredible as far as their stories and stuff. And I want to shout out Ron Newt. He passed away. Y'all ain't familiar with him, are y'all? I only know him because of Vlad TV. He was a person who lived in California. And he was on Vlad TV talking about his life. He had interaction with the Jacksons or whatever. And his sons were singers. And one of his sons was a prolific songwriter, like Grammy Award winning. I had to look his name up, whatever. But he had said something on a show about, in the midst of one of his stories about how, because Michael Jackson used to hang around with his boys. And he said somebody, I can't remember who he said, but they offered him like $200,000 to say that his kids was molested by Michael Jackson, which is a fucking lie. How, and again, shout out to Ron Newton, how famous do you have to be for people to start allowing you for $200,000?
200,000 G's, bro.
And that's what we want.
You know, was you the one that told me Michael Jackson owns Sony? This might have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, like half of it or
Yeah.
something. He had a lot of that catalog. Yeah. But we was talking about fame or whatever. I was thinking about like all the things that's going on in this lifestyle, this celebrity lifestyle that we are sadly so engrossed in. It's bad. Like you never like. I don't even know how to properly explain like what I mean when I say it's bad. But listen, if Michael Jackson was just a regular person, we wouldn't know him. Mm-hmm. But see, when you get famous or when you seek out fame, it's a lot of things that come with it. Like, I remember when I was a kid, I was talking to my sister this week, and I told her that I used to want to be rich, and I wanted to be famous. Mm. And I wanted to be rich and famous because I heard somebody else say something about being rich and famous. Yeah. Like I've never had the qualities to be a superstar. I don't have a superstar.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, well, I say a typical, I guess, everybody would categorize as a superstar. Yeah. Yeah. If you look at it like that. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Like I got all the potential to be like lauded. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who's accomplished. Like I got the skills and talents and stuff to be somebody successful. Yeah. But I don't have the superstar. I'm like
just like you ain't got the Mayweather persona as we say on that. You know what I mean?
I'd be more Andre Ward.
Yeah,
in the Atlanta Mayweathers, I'd be an Andre Ward.
Exactly. For people who don't know boxing terms, Andre Ward is probably one of the greatest boxers of all time, and probably I'll put him ahead of Floyd. If not, I would. I wouldn't put him ahead.
Floyd, my top five.
Floyd, man, Andre Ward is the truth. But I ain't gonna go crazy.
What's wrong with this nigga?
My girl sent me some shit, bro. Go ahead, bro. Hey, my girl sent me some shit, bro. I ain't getting no bad, bro.
He watching more.
As he explained Floyd and Andre Ward. All in the shoulder. Oh, rubber necking and shit.
I know what's going on. Not the camera.
Holy shit.
Break
this is what we'll be doing tonight. Hey, make sure y'all check that.
That moment with my girl, this nigga on my shoulder and shit. Get the fuck out of here, man.
You was talking, I'm listening.
We don't get a chance to say what I'm supposed to be.
I can see through the walls if somebody watching this.
But no, hold on. But I don't want to be famous. And I used to want to be super rich and stuff. And to a certain extent, I want money. I don't need it, but I want it. But the fame thing is what I was talking about. I don't understand like why people want to be famous, especially in this generation. They're famous for nothing. Mm-hmm. Like you want to be famous for nothing. You just want. And I hate to say it, but I do blame the social media age. We talked about it last week. Yeah. About the effects of social media. Mm-hmm. But when you sit around and when I say famous for nothing, when we see people doing skits, they showing some level of talent or trying to be, you know what I'm saying, trying to have something. But when you sit around with a meme page, you want to be famous for nothing. Yeah. You want to be famous. That's for nothing. There's no talent associated with it. But like, what makes a person want to be famous? Like, what does fame mean to you?
It's addictive. Fame's addictive. It's a hell of a drug. Anybody who's ever been famous has always said it's like the most powerful thing that you can feel. It's almost like a godlike feeling. Like when these rock stars go on concert, they're going to and just anything you do when you get public applause or admiration or whatever in the moment. Because I was watching, I think it was like Vlad TV. It was somewhere, or what was that? It's some ESPN. Somebody was on there. I think it's named Genuine. One of them old school singers.
He started thinking that Genuine.
Genuine
nigga,
or
Genuine.
Brian McKnight. It's one of them.
Yeah.
And they was just saying that even still now when they go on tour, just that old feeling comes back anytime, you know, a crowd full of people just come out cheering and giving you applause, and whether it's fake love or real love, whatever you break it down as, it's addictive. And there's money to go with it. So it's like all of those pleasures put together. So everybody, once you get the fame, you want to keep it.
Could you imagine? I can understand the addiction if that's what you're seeking. If that's your drug of choice.
But if you get a taste of it by accident, it's going to be hard to undo it. If all of us became famous right now, we're just Michael Jackson famous, you know, if you could go that fast. Did you ever let it go?
Episode 82 tonight.
Anything and everything you do is the greatest thing ever.
Tomorrow we got 10 million views.
Yeah.
Episode 8. Yeah. I think it's just like, because it ain't even.
Could you ever go back? Could you go back where nobody's checking for you anymore,
bullshit.
whether it's real or fake?
I hope so, though. I say that.
Damn, that's a good point, though, because when you say that nobody checking for you, the thing that I think it's all about a maturity thing. Because the way I would react now to fame is totally different how I would react at 21, even 30. So my thing right now, I'm way more grounded and I'm more cognizant of what's going on. So that's why I don't have a desire to be famous, because he said whether it's real or fake, I don't want to decide. I don't want to have to sift through and find out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to know if this person genuinely care about me, because usually they don't. I made a post on our TCK page. I said, B, don't think too much about the applause, because the same people that's going to clap for you are going to be the one that's clapping at you. Michael Jackson just had whatever the fuck he had at the Children's Museum. I don't understand why you got Michael Jackson things at the Children's Museum.
What would they have?
Michael Jackson from Gary. That don't even count for Central Indiana. We ain't got no claim to Michael Jackson down here in Central Indiana. That's Gary, Northern Indiana shit.
Chicago type shit.
Yeah, and for them to, and it's a term that's relatively new. It wasn't apt when they put it into the Children's Museum. When they was put Michael Jackson shit in there, they was clout chasing.
Yeah.
They was trying to draw people in to get. They was trying to draw in a certain demographic, his fans.
Yeah.
He has a hell of a fan base. Michael Jackson didn't ask for the museum to put his shit in there. Michael Jackson is a phenomenon. You know what I'm saying? He's bigger than the Children's Museum.
Yeah.
So when even taking something out, I'm gonna show you how fucked up they are. To do that, you trying to draw attention to yourself, because no one knew it was in there. You know what I'm saying? Who cares what the Children's Museum do? Michael Jackson, the only thing people can take away from you is what they give you. That's something that people got to realize. People can give you applause, they can give you likes, they can give you acclaim, they can give you awards. Those are things that aren't in you. That's how come I think the way you survive fame is to cherish what's inside of you, or what you have, more than what you cherish what somebody give you. Just because somebody clap for you, man, what do it mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's low self-esteem to need that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if they take away every single award they give Michael Jackson, if they take away every whatever, Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson without that shit.
Yeah.
When Michael Jackson was singing with his brothers and shit, he was Michael Jackson. The influence that Michael Jackson has had on the world outweighs anything they can do, which was seen when they took his stream. Well, they took him off the little stream and whatever.
Yeah.
His shit, he started selling more albums. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't care about this shit.
He's still selling albums.
Huh?
Who's still buying Michael Jackson albums? Y'all don't have it on bootleg. You ain't got no cousins. Like,
them people making a point though. That's them showing their love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's orchestrated. You know what I'm saying? Where we're gonna show y'all that you are not influencing the decisions. But you have to have a level of fame to attract that much hate. And I think that Michael Jackson, he was one of the few people who was a victim of fame, an actual victim, not a Kardashian who get called their titty out and they try to cry and say you just trying to exploit me. I'm talking about somebody who, and you gotta understand, Michael Jackson came out before social media.
Yeah.
Had Michael Jackson been, it'd have been crazy, because he was able to reach. I mean, motherfuckers in Budapest falling out. How the fuck do you know Michael Jackson in
What you think
Budapest?
about that? That's fucking
About what?
crazy, bro. Like,
Hell yeah.
Like how crazy really like shit would have been if it was like social media area, Michael. Oh.
And he became a recluse. And I identify with the recluse. I identify with the Michael Jackson where you start making public appearances so rare and so infrequently that they start making shit up about you. They start calling y'all know they used to call Michael Jackson Wacko Jacko. That's what they used to call him in the tabloids.
But you gotta switch that fame out with power. Like you gotta cash the fame in.
And listen, he has Sony's catalog.
And so
That's power.
Right. Nah, I'm not denying that. But that's how you stay out of the. If you stop with the fame, I think you can get fucked up. Or you stop with the fame and the money, of course they can always get you, put a case on you or whatever. You got to transfer the power, but that's the hardest part. I feel like that's the part that they're not going to let you get a hold of.
I totally agree with
So where would somebody do because you asked how would somebody, for 200,000 or 100,000 put this on Michael Jackson? Well, somebody wanted it on Michael Jackson who probably had a better, outcome if Michael Jackson gets, some trouble. It's probably a power struggle because it ain't. I mean, what money's gonna come out, or what money would be, won by somebody else? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I get Michael Jackson in a guilty situation, how does that pay off for someone else, other than to move him out of a position of power?
When them bitches came at you and said that them dudes said that you wasn't all that, with you not being all that, how does that make them all that? You see what I'm saying? Like, people don't have to have a motive outside of wanting you to fail or wanting you to fall in order to do what they want to do.
Or at the same time, that gives them a little more power in their, because in that same example, they could also be wanting that power over the social structure of what's going on, and a lot of times that was the case.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something real quick. Sugar Shane Mosley, he had got beat. This is a boxing analogy I'm gonna use in relation to the situation. He got beat, dominated. At the time, Sugar Shane was pound for pound top 2 fighter when he got dominated by Vernon Forrest. Shout out to Vernon Forrest, one of my favorite fighters ever. He got dominated by Vernon Forrest. After the fight, Larry Burton told him, just because you beat Sugar Shane don't make you Sugar Shane. Even if you knock him off his pedestal, you still not recognizing the same vein that he was. You know what I'm saying? Even if you take me down and shit, it don't make you me. So even if you slander me to a girl, I'm still what she saw. She don't see me and you. You see what I'm saying? So that's back to your analogy and stuff. Like the chick can say whatever the dude said. 9 times out of 10, when somebody slander you to a girl, the girl like you more. It's weird, but
yeah, they come ask you.
Did you really suck 6 titties in an hour? They said you nasty.
They say it like, but curious at the same time. It's like, well, girl, you know they lying.
That's like, hold on. That's like when girls first find out you eat pussy. They first find out you nasty. They said you eat pussy. You know, I don't. Then she curious and shit, looking at you and shit. See a little mustache growing out your face for no reason.
You know I don't do all that.
But
doing all that. He's like, oh shit! This nigga said, who size 13s are these? How many told my homeboy that was downstairs? He said,
what?
Whose Jordans are these?
See, these are those stories we was talking about.
I'm upstairs with the girl he want. He don't know whose shoes. This nigga was watching the shoes. He was counting the shoes.
Oh shit!
I said, all right.
Hey, aside tales. But my thing is with Michael Jackson and stuff, like, I don't think he initially wanted the fame. First off, we know the family structure where he was thrust into this. As a child, he was put in a singing group. his father recognized the talent that his children had. He put them in a position. And some people act like he was doing something wrong. I don't think so. It's just like having your son on an AU team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just that you get vilified. Anytime a black man is prominent in the children's success, they always seem to vilify him. We can go Richard Williams with Venus and Serena. Those two guys. LeVar Ball, Joe Jackson. It's always a vilification associated with it. And I've never understood it. You never see a mother vilified. In the history of life, we have never seen a single black woman vilified. LeBron mom was giving their teammates pussy and shit. Ain't nobody vilify her. You know what I'm saying?
Don't nobody talk about that.
No, nobody talk about it because it's not advantageous and shit to make the man look incredible or whatever. But what the fuck I was about to say? But with the fame with Michael Jackson, I don't think he searched it out, but it still came at him the same way. And when he became reclusive, they started slandering him. Later on, we seen the same thing with Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill, and she's one of the people who, y'all don't understand. When the Fugees came out, they was a cool hip hop group. That's how we looked at. Oh, they got the Fugees, la la la. Then she did the Killing Me Softly. That's when we noticed she was somebody different. Damn, that's fire. When she put up the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, that shit took her to a whole nother level to where she went in Grammys. She out here selling out everything, and not to mention it was an incredible album.
Incredible.
And it still go today.
I still look
that
back.
motherfucker still go today. You ever fuck with that?
She made a mistake.
Listen,
I'm glad she
a
made a classical mistake, like, because you don't put that much on one. Like the way they do it nowadays, you divide that up into 4 albums.
Listen, when you on your way home, listen to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Easily in my top 10 favorite albums ever. Easily. A combination of singing and hip hop. I can see that. But she said that fame had her out here doing things she didn't want to do. But she was so grounded initially that she pulled away. And if you listen to her music, she got some mature ass music and a lot of perspective and stuff, even if you just heard her talk. If you go on YouTube and you like Lauryn Hill, and it's young, you know what I'm saying? We don't usually hear women talk how she talk at a young age. She was like in her early middle 20s.
You said what was that album called?
The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I'm disappointed in you because you a music head.
Yeah, I already know. No, but you know what? The album cover, I'm pretty sure I heard a lot of this.
You heard that thing.
I just never know what it was called.
Yeah. But the whole, especially the hard shit under her and D'Angelo. That nothing even matters. That shit's so hard.
The 10 album cover with her.
It was in 1998. I was trying to find somebody singing that shit too.
Like
no one was worthy of it.
Like that.
Say what?
The album cover looks super. So I don't listen to. I just never knew that was what it was called.
And you have to. I mean, I don't know if all the way reclusive dance because people always want you to do something for the black community. So you got Dave Chappelle who he's done that step back. You know, people don't talk about it, but he's not in Hollywood. He's openly said it. He don't live in Hollywood. He's right there in Ohio.
Right.
And he really don't show out. He don't have no Instagram account. He don't. You know. He's recluse. I mean, famous.
And what you saying is he doing things more now on his own terms.
And I think he realized. But how long you think they're gonna let him? Do you think there's a target coming? I mean, 'cause that's somebody that I look up to. That's in terms of celebrities, top 10.
Yeah. I know what you're saying when you say that. It's like, because I think everything is controlled and orchestrated. Everything in Hollywood, the only thing they have is unexpectedly, and that's unexpectedly us is overdoses.
He came out and got that Netflix money. You know, he's gonna go back. He, live on a farm. He got him an Asian woman, so that might help. She's not a model or nothing like on Instagram or nothing.
He seemed grounded, and this is what I think disturbs them is when you grounded. When you not, because when you think Lauryn Hill, when you think Michael Jackson, when you think Dave Chappelle, they all seem to love their art more than the money, to where they won't continuously sell themselves, or continuously allow themselves to be pimped out. Lauryn Hill went totally left. She was in the Pope asked her to perform. Lauryn Hill was very socially conscious. She know what's going on. She know what time it is. She get up there talking about y'all need to tell these priests quit raping people. Basically, that's what she said. That got her. They was fucked up. They was shitty about that. You don't go be up against the earth Satan like that. How dare you, niggers? And so what they start doing, they start trying to play her. She crazy. She crazy. She do her empty unplugged with no music and shit. She crazy. They not looking at the artist no more. Now you not doing what we want to do. So now we have to paint you a certain way.
They always say crazy too.
That stuff.
They always say crazy.
Dave Chappelle.
And I watched it since he said that. I keep watching it with every other.
And so that's why you get Kanye
R. Kelly
down. We saw R. Kelly. I mean
Kanye.
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 Listen, because that's what we train to say. Anytime somebody reacts adverse to the conventional reaction to how we think they should act, or how we've been programmed to think, first thing we say, oh, this is some crazy shit right here. And that's just our trigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how we supposed to think if this person does this. That's how come I hesitate to slander a Kanye.
I don't never be.
With the right person, with the right power,
like, man, who
can shift money, man. Like, if I had the news out, if I owned the New York Times, I can make some people go broke overnight. You know, just that power of publishing a story to say this or say that. Anonymous source. I can break up homes, families, you know, anything. TMZ, these niggas who run this shit, they can give me that Kareem Hunt or that Beyonce.
I guarantee you, TMZ,
Wright.
if everything come to fruition or come to light, I guarantee you that TMZ is a government organization.
A pawn or somebody.
No, I guarantee you they have a direct tie to where Harvey is getting money from somebody, because he has we in the age of cameras and surveillance, but he has too much access to people's lives. And like you said, this is the part of fame that you have to hate, to where your life can be ruined by a fucking somebody on the corner recording you and selling the video. Like, that's how famous anybody else kicking a white girl out the hotel room wouldn't have been, you know what I'm saying, looked that crazy. You got a police call on you, but it would have made TMZ.
Nah.
Fame. And when you talk about what happens when that 15 minutes starts to decline, you know what you do? You come to me in the side and you give us $3,500 to tie a rope around your neck and punch you in your stomach and say, move, faggot, nigger. When you don't want to lose that fame, you turn into Jussie Smollett. You know what I'm saying? When you start doing silly things like that, Kim Kardashian put one of the fake ass cheeks on the table and take a picture. Like, the thirst for fame is so incredible to me. What's that?
She did it?
Several times, you fucking jigaboo. I mean, that's what she do. When I'm saying by that is
just taking pictures of her ass.
Okay, I was saying, what the hell?
why didn't anyone tell me?
The storyteller.
But my thing is like, and that's high level fame right there. That's high level. We see low level. Like, have you noticed, like, just regular girls, how it ain't that many normal motherfuckers no more? Like, on social media, I'm gonna tell you, man, I don't understand, like, we was talking about being famous for nothing. Bitches really want to get out here and twerk the fame. Like, bitches really think they gonna fucking twerk their way to fame.
Just like it's this one nigga. I almost down there invited him to the show, but I'm like, man, this nigga is what is he got like a 13, 15 followers on there. You know, shout out to everybody doing their thing. Like I said, every time I give an opinion, I be telling motherfuckers, man, don't take shit personal. It's an opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't nobody opinion. My shit shouldn't matter. I ain't nobody. So you ain't nobody. Nigga. Everything's opinion, you know, whatever. But it's this nigga in Indianapolis. He calls up the bacon man. And he wear a bacon suit.
The who? Don't invite that nigga over here, no bacon suit.
Yeah, that's another reason why I didn't invite
bacon.
him. I was like, you
Pork
know,
bacon?
don't fuck with no ham.
Bacon like cake.
No, you don't fuck with no ham. But yeah, he calls out the bacon man, but he wear like the costume bacon suit.
Yeah.
Everywhere. He goes wear it to the club. He go out to eat in it. Yeah, Instagram called the bacon man. I just, figure, he trying to get on. It's his thing he trying to do.
And with that, once he sit down, what does he talk about? Like, I totally understand a shtick or a gimmick to get you into where you want to go. And I'm
man, he's not a woman. He be stripping.
You fuck.
Talking about shit. That's
Bacon man.
On Battle Rap, you fuck with Daylight.
Yeah.
Daylight has said some of the most outlandish.
At first, yeah.
He done said some of the most outlandish thing. He done called some silly shit. He's hilarious, but he's very aware. He says now at the point now he's telling you.
Threw me off, man. That whole bullshit threw me off at first. I was like,
Yeah.
dang.
At this point, he tell you I did all that to get all eyes on me, and now I can say what I want to say. That's his method. That's not my method. It's either I'm gonna say you listen. I'm like, okay, you ain't listening.
Yeah,
So
okay,
I'm talking.
whatever, I'm gonna put here.
But that was his thing. So like saying the instance of the bacon guy. Once you sit him down, what does he say? What does he have to say to sustain his fame? Once you see the chick twerking and you sit her down, you're like, so now that you're resting, you got your breath back. What do you do? And she stand back up and start twerking again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, this is getting old.
Yeah, but
Yeah. I mean, you really can't be with a girl that's
just twerking all the time.
I couldn't be with a woman who want to be
can't
famous.
An Instagram.
Could you?
I can't be with an Instagram model longer than a weekend. You know, not the little weekend, the little week, man. Like if I was in Miami and I seen a couple Instagram models, yeah, I'll be on your Snapchat timeline a couple times. You know what I mean? That'll get my clout up.
Yeah.
And then it's just
Clout
like a
chasing
game.
through hoes.
It's like Mario Brothers. You just gain clout as you move through. But that's it. Like you really, I don't know.
Cause you deal with a chick that want to be famous, like I don't understand. Cause I've been a person who, like I record shit, I say shit, but it's always out of my feeling. Like when somebody tell me, hey, you should do this, I can't get with it. If it's not organic, I can't do it. So if it's something I already want to do, I'm gonna do it. But I have never in my conscious thought or my conscious thinking wanted to be famous. Like I've always wanted to be successful, but at the same time, I don't want to be successful enough to sell myself, to compromise my beliefs and shit, to be successful by somebody else's standards. I want to be successful if I feel I'm successful. You know,
you want money, and you got some girls or people who want to be famous. And if you know how to mastermind getting them to their destination, then it could be of some use. I mean, because that's what all of them are basically saying. All of them are on Instagram saying, I'm interviewing. You just have to be that nigga. And shout out to my ATL niggas. You just got to be them people who are connected. And because I see them all. I mean, a couple of them on Instagram. One of them got his own strip club at the crib. I mean, he got about 10 girls. Yeah, he's always on his stripper night, and he just said, look, DM me if you need one or two or more than that.
So actually he pimping.
For strippers.
Yeah.
And I mean, somebody else who, for a little bit extra, but that's what they're doing with them, but that's what they're all really saying. Even if a girl's not saying, I'm on here to do that, I mean, what else are you on here to do? Because what do you do after you twerk? That was cool. That was a cool trick. But now all I want to do is fucking get out of here. I don't even need to share my blunt with you. So what we doing?
Can you read?
Nope.
Can you read, bitch? But you mentioned ATL, and I was thinking about this earlier too, because we in an era where even the drug dealers want to be rich. Dope niggas want to be rich without gas. You can't. That's ignorant shit. So look, first thing come to my mind is you was from ATL. How was you familiar with BMF when you was down there?
Nah, I had no clue.
And it's crazy because I say this, they talk about
shouting them out on songs, but I never saw the billboard that everybody.
That's what I was gonna go. Like, if you out here hustling, why would you make a billboard? Like, why do you want to be that famous? You know what I'm saying? Like, clear across the other side of the map, we see Rick Ross. They said, real quick, let me say this real quick. They had Rick Ross out there where he's not even. They said, shout out to Freeway Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross. He was out there so low key that he come to the dope spot. They think he's a dope fan. They not knowing that he's the one who supplied everybody dope, and he got millions of dollars. And when does it transition to I want to be famous? I understand I want to ball, I want to stunt, but I'm talking about the fame. And what was you gonna say? We talking about BMF and shit. Big Meech, putting up that billboard.
That's because he was trying to play like it was the whole rap mogul thing, where it's like, yo, we running the. But the niggas know what this really means. You know,
and the feds know. And more importantly, the feds know.
Oh yeah, I'm about to say if.
But he was trying to be corporation.
If there was no way to see what everybody did and shit, a lot of people wouldn't even want to do the shit they be doing.
They would.
You know what I mean?
They would.
Well, famous is. I feel like a lot of people see famous. You see it from the wrong way. Jordan already gave a commercial. You know when he was talking about maybe I fucked up because I messed up the game because y'all thought it was all the shots I hit at the end or all the highlights, whoop-de-whoop. Y'all never saw behind the scenes, and that's really what happens. When we don't
Real
see
shit.
behind
Real
the
shit.
scenes.
Real
So when
shit.
I see Terrell Owens coming up, it's like, bro, I saw his touchdown. I ain't never seen him go to the gym. Kobe too. Until you get wiser, you start to see a little bit behind the scenes. But first, it's like I want what they have at the end. Like, I don't want to wait for the cake to be made. I want that cake to be mine. You know, I want this to be my birthday. So everybody want to be famous. So they going after the end.
In order to get the baby, you gotta get fucked.
And so they don't have the same. They play off it. It's just like I said before. If you see a bunch of girls twerking, or you see a bunch of people who just want to be famous, you know, whatever the signal is, that could be taken advantage of, and you can buy these people, and then everybody
Real
just
shit.
does anything.
It still
I'm
boils
Fusion
down,
loyal.
it still boils down to them seeing it though. You know what I mean? Like,
But they gotta
what
see
do,
the-
what do you really want to do? That's what motherfuckers like lose sight of, and I ain't
wanna-
gonna get that deep.
Everybody want to be
You
on the
feel me? But, like,
championship
nobody
team,
really
getting
wants to 'cause
championship
they
rings.
seen it. You know what I mean? But
You
it's
want
like,
the end.
what do you want to do? I mean, you ain't gotta get that deep though. You feel me? But that's what it boils down to.
People just want to
People do a
celebrate.
lot of seeing, like seeing you see motherfuckers do something, and you get there, and you do it, and you there, and it's like, okay,
It don't
I'm
even
here,
mean
but
shit.
it's like, man, this
But
shit,
it don't
man,
even
but
I'm
it's
not-
just the
I'm not
celebration.
supposed to do, yeah. You know what I mean?
The celebration comes with free shit, you know, like money, parties, glory, happiness, you know. So that's
Happiness. Let's take happiness out of it.
But
Because
this
all
is-
that don't translate
This
into
is
happiness.
what people are seeing. Now, I'm not saying
Yeah,
it
yeah.
means that. I'm just saying that's when I see Steph Curry went back to back. He look happy, you know. So I think that's happiness, you know.
And when he got there off his talent, though. He didn't.
I don't know
Work
what
to
time
get
he
that
woke
thing.
up to get there. I know the game started at 8 p.m. and he
Yeah.
won by 9:30. I wanted that right there. An hour and a half and you a millionaire. You know what I mean? Come on, I want that. 2-a-days, wall sits, climbing, running, lifting. Nah, I'm cool, man. Just let me know when it's winning time.
He just passed me in the corner. I'm wide
Yeah,
open.
I see Kodak on TV. I'm like, this nigga got a motherfucker come out to the goddamn song. I said, I want that right there.
You
I
didn't
went
realize-
from where
yeah.
I seen him walk, you know, to where I seen him go through the ring because I ain't getting in the ring. But that's what I want right there. That 60 seconds of who this nigga here about to knock somebody out. I don't want no more of it, and that's what 6ix9ine said. He said, "Look, man, I want to troll. I want the money. But hold on now, 45 what? Me, it could have been 45 days. I'm pointing." Y'all been having long. Y'all been having
Hey,
long.
but I want to ask y'all this though: do you think that fame changes a person, or it amplifies who they originally was in the first place?
It's a good fucking question.
What like you were saying?
Does it change them or does it amplify? I don't think it changes them
I don't think it
any
changes them, man.
more than where they're already at.
You can't really, I think it amplifies them, man. You can't really change. I really truly believe people don't really change
Well,
like that at a certain point in
let me
time.
back.
man.
Let me see.
Cause you think the people who they deem as crazy, and it's not. You gotta think, man. Not a lot of special motherfuckers out here. Everybody ain't woke, quote unquote. You feel me? You know what I mean? Let's put it like that, man. So the people, oh yeah, this nigga crazy. Oh yeah, he crazy. Or the people they killed off. You know, let's just keep it blunt. You feel me? Nigga, you know. So yeah, I believe. You know, I do believe that.
I think it changes you like where you already at. Like you said, amplifies who you are. It's who you are. Like so, if I'm growing through life, I'm going back and forth. If somebody says, "Damn, you famous," I might not waver anymore, but I might at the same time, you know, to try to chase after what I'm famous for. I don't know.
Be slightly influenced.
Yeah, be influenced. So you'd be willing to change for whatever this fame asks you to do. But that's just amplifying your shortcomings that are already there. So it's kind of like both. It's going to change you,
But then you eventually see what
but
motherfucker really is
but
at the
it's
time.
just going to show you, yeah,
Right.
it's like it exposed you. Maybe not change it, but it's gonna
Like,
expose
let's
you.
just say for like dude off that so regular little dudes, for say. Like,
He crazy
He
though.
was already.
It depends
he
on
was
how it
crazy
comes.
before he got famous. They just put him in a nice
Depends
little
on how
role,
you get your fame.
fixed him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He
he-
gonna play
Yeah.
exactly.
Plus, he was young when he got that role, so he probably was
That plays a lot
made
into it
the way
too.
he is.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So
He was
so
groomed
depending on
in
how you
that
get
way.
it. If you
Exactly.
groomed early,
Exactly.
but if you have to work and earn it, you might be who you are might
Shout out to
be
Orlando.
so strong that you can't be changed.
Come to the podcast,
I
man. Come
love
sit
that
out the
shit.
Indy, man.
It's gonna change your
I'll
view.
fly
man.
that nigga out.
I
I'll tell you,
would
I
too. I
find
swear
you
to
gotta
God,
find
I'll
where to
fly
sleep.
that out, bro.
You sleep with a kid up nigga. I'll sit up listening to goofy ass stories and
Put him
shit.
in on- Hey, we got D25 security fuck with that nigga.
But that's fine, man. That's what it is. I don't have a desire to be famous. I have a desire for this podcast to be famous. I have a desire to see Jamar become a famous fighter. You know what I'm saying? And it's because I take more pride in the success of the people I care about more than I do myself. As far as like that goes, like that, I've never been a hater. Like I've had reasons, if there are reasons to hate or feel some kind of way. I remember shout out to Maurice when Maurice who played football, baseball, man, I was his number one fucking fan. He making all the all-star teams, everybody in the family happy and shit. I'm happy as shit. Going out of town with him on all the AAU trips. I'm playing baseball and shit, walking, I bullshit you out 15 blocks to the practice and shit to my games, ain't nobody coming. I make the all-star team, nobody clap. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't affect me because I was grounded just in, like I had morals and shit that was instilled in me early and stuff that have pride and family. So I think that what's instilled in you as a young person, it manifests when you get older. Like a lot of these people who we see out here chasing fame, like I guarantee you, man, 90% of these chicks out here trying to twerk their way to freedom didn't have a man in their life, a male figure, or the male figure they did fucked them.
Yeah.
It's a sad situation because no one who's morally grounded is out here doing these things just for a life. Even on the level of not just the women, but the dudes who get out here and just start doing silly shit. It's something that happens. I'm telling you, man, this is something happening in the youth. It's always something that happens when you're young and shit that manifests when you're old. And whether that's negative or positive, whether you was told don't cross the street, you're gonna hit by a car. You get older and shit, you watch for cars. But if you wasn't ever told that and shit, you watch for the street. You know what I'm saying? You just concerned about getting across the street, not worried about that it's something that can actually hinder that. And if you know how to watch for them, you still get clipped. You know how to respond to it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what fame is, man. And it's got worse. It's almost like a continuation from last week with the social media. Social media has made everybody monsters, so to speak.
See, I agree. Fame for me, give me my name to be famous, but I don't even need that. I don't desire that. I don't want that.
You want to generate some finances.
My corporation, anything I leave on this, I want it to be famous. Because famous is kind of like, well, you just something for the people. But you don't have to know it's me. Like when you think of Nike, who's running Nike right now? You know, I don't know. But somebody's actually, you know, maybe not the originator, but they running that shit.
Feel nice to look at y'all.
And so they have that power. So that's really what I want. I want the power because with the power you can always cash that in for anything in this life. So
And that's
I
some
want
deep
that
shit
fame.
that you just said.
I don't want
man.
people to know my face, man. Like,
Cause
that's too much for me. Like I'm cool, man. I like to go where people don't know who I am now.
I love anonymity. I like that shit.
And maybe my name, because again, your name means maybe you did something great. Where when people Wikipedia you know, they see your little background, but I really don't want people to be like, oh.
And even in that sense, though, you still want to be something based on what you did, as opposed to
Not
you know
who
what I'm
I
saying?
am, not.
Yeah.
Oh, they look at me from behind. That nigga twerking on Instagram.
That's the high teacher
man,
that be
just-
twerking.
Yeah, man. That's not for me, man. But one day these Instagram models are gonna get old.
That's what every time I see a bitch with a whole tattoo over her whole back and ass, and I'm like, bitch, this gonna look terrible when
They
you're
are-
60.
I be
They
doing that shit all the fucking time.
Take it
Like,
one
man,
step
you get
farther.
older.
Hell
Man,
yeah.
girl, you gonna be in trouble like a
Man,
motherfucker looking
man.
crazy.
Hell yeah.
Looking like a motherfucking ink bag.
Them bitches need, but they take a picture, put it in a time capsule, revisit it when
I
they
need
65.
all the before and afters. I'm gonna screenshot all these bitches and wait till they get old and start screenshotting.
I think it's a
shit.
desire to get the male's attention.
And I'm,
Like,
you know what?
'cause
I'm about to start an Instagram page before and after. That's my little.
On everything.
He may not remember, but he may. Back in the day when it was Freaknik.
Yeah, you don't know shit about Freak
When
Nick,
I
do
was
you?
on-
And see,
Yeah.
the level of ratchetness that went on at Freaknik, and I was too young. All I know is that was
I've
supposed to be
heard the word,
something
but I don't know nothing
I was
else.
gonna do when
That
I
let me
got
know my babysitters was watching that shit
into
'cause
high
I heard
school.
it.
You know,
So
honestly,
I
but that shit
My
got
dad was
canceled.
watching that shit because I done heard that shit way
I
too
look
many
more
times.
forward to Freak Nick than graduating. Like, I can't wait till I get old enough to go down to Atlanta
It went
and watch these bitches who ain't gonna let me fuck shake their ass.
Yeah.
That was my whole ideology. It was like, it was
It was
Instagram.
wild.
It was Instagram Live.
Instagram Live.
Yeah,
That's a
and
good
this
way
one
to put
it was still like centralized in this particular location. It wasn't no shit you seen everywhere. So Atlanta already had a reputation for having freaks. They thick, and we wasn't too afraid of their age yet. You know what I'm saying? So it was like Freak Nick. It was like a weekend, or was it like black college weekend and shit, where they be out there.
It was a week. It was a week.
You can go on fucking YouTube right now and put in Freak Nick, and all them bitches old with diabetes now. But back then, they was pretty prolific. That shit was like
Wow.
black girls going wild.
Black girls going wild.
But yeah, we're gonna wrap this up, man. Another fantastic show.
Price of fame.
Exactly, the price of fame. What does it mean to you? What are you willing to do to achieve it? What are you willing to do to keep it or maintain it? Whatever. Does it mean anything to you? Me personally, I want to be famous for me. I want to be famous for who I am. If I got to be famous, I want somebody to say, "Oh, he got a dope ass podcast," or "He wrote some dope shit." You know what I'm saying? He
He's
got a
a real
dope ass team.
motherfucker. Yeah.
Don't make me famous because I was walking down the street and fell, tripped. A dog bit me on my butt, and I was running down the street with my pants hanging down, bleeding.
That's a real trick. That's a failed trick. Dog big dude.
Real shit. Real shit.
Hashtag.
Anything y'all say in closing? First off, real quick, you check out the fight this weekend.
Yeah.
Earl nice.
Man.
Earl nice. He better than I thought he was. And what I mean is his skill, his IQ was incredible. He was way better. Cause I've never seen any boxing like that. He showed he had many facets to his game. I was very impressed. This is the first fight I done bought so fucking long. Matter of fact, this first fight I bought since I bought that Floyd Cotter.
Yeah.
I was definitely impressed with him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Super impressive, man. Arrow definitely did his thing, man. And we in contact with him.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's up. I like his team too, man. I like his coach, you know what I'm saying? He got a good team, and they on some nigga shit.
Yeah.
They on some nigga shit.
That's why we fucking with him, too.
Yeah. You got anything you want to say in close?
Man, just make sure y'all follow the podcast, man. Tune into the YouTube channel. We got a lot of shit. I know we probably taking a little long, a couple things that we've been telling y'all we releasing, man. But we got a lot of content coming. A lot of fire shit, man, coming to the YouTube channel, man. So make sure y'all tune in every Friday. And, man, Spring Sounds you.
I just want to say, tell a friend. Got a new show coming out this Friday. I got all the deals. You know how it is. A shot.
Hey, we own that voice. Copyright, right? Getting made famous. Price of fame. But
We really can sell that nigga. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey man, videos, right? We got some videos.
We do definitely got some
eventually.
videos on the way.
We gotta
man.
put some more creative pieces out, so we're gonna think about some stuff. It's about to be springtime. Y'all know that.
Yeah, summer,
Daylight
so you know what
savings
that
already
means.
started. Summer's happening.
What
We
that
in the
mean?
gym.
Yeah.
We probably the most fit podcast out there.
I would say so. Y'all
We
been
gotta
in the
start.
gym
We gotta
consistent.
start doing some rankings, some live rankings. Where do we stand?
On everything. I do
in
take
the
pride in that
city
shit.
of Indianapolis.
I do take
Indiana.
pride.
Shout out to
Man,
everyone
'cause
else
nobody
that's
is active
making
as
moves.
we is, man. Like,
So there's some people out there moving.
they moving, man, but not like, come
But
on, man. Like, we putting out.
If it was a podcast
Consistently
party and we
putting
pull
out-
up at the party, we're gonna do like we always do.
What's up?
We'll look around and chances are we might be the baddest niggas in the room. So that's gonna manifest itself this summer, this spring. So
Definitely.
look out.
Thank everybody for tuning in. Best podcast you never heard of. Shout out to the squad, man. This is the most elite squad around here. Catch us again next Tuesday. We might have a guest next week. I'm not sure, but even if we don't, you will get this dope ass show. We'll catch y'all next week.
The Conceited Knowbody. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m.